How's everybody doing today? Hope you're well, whoever's watching this today. So in my last video I talked about a really awesome experience I had with a couple of my students. And you know, I mentioned that there are often frustrating situations that happen with students on a school bus, but sometimes they're also extremely funny experiences. So I'll share one that I've always found really funny. Now I'm sure the other people involved maybe didn't find it as funny as I did, but there was a time when I drove for an elementary school, and this particular elementary school was known to have, I mean, the neighborhoods that we delivered the kids to were, you know, they were oftentimes not the best neighborhoods. They were kind of rough neighborhoods, a lot of crime in the area, a lot of very young parents, you know, children raising children, not trying to get into any kind of things like that, but basically just wanted to get a little setup. So anyways, a lot of very young parents. So that was the main thing about this. So immature parents themselves. So I had this one time. It was a December, and this particular elementary school would have in the art class, and I'm sure this is common in a lot of elementary schools, but their art class would make these gingerbread houses in December. You know, that's a typical thing. And they almost always don't make, you know, the traditional gingerbread houses with real gingerbread cookies and things. They use things that are easily accessible. They use graham crackers and milk cartons for the shape of the house. But so, you know, and I forget what they would use for the icing. It might have just been like cake icing or something, or might have been marshmallow cream. So, you know, the kids would make these things in class, and then they would send them home. Well, this particular school, usually when they would send them home, most schools, they would be on a paper plate, but then they would put it inside a Ziploc bag so that it could easily be transported. Well, if you bring a gingerbread house up to a school bus and expect it to be transported, most bus drivers are not going to allow that for multiple reasons. You know, the primary reason, or I can even use it, I'll say primary excuse, because it is a reason, but people could certainly use it as an excuse. Kids shouldn't be eating on school buses because it's not safe. They could choke on it. You know, the secondary reason why you don't want kids eating on a bus is because they make messes, and then the bus driver is responsible for cleaning it up. So, you know, I always tell my kids they are not allowed to eat on the bus. They do it anyways, and I still have to clean up messes. But anyways, this one experience, kind of telling you a lot of backstory about this one. This one time, a kid came up to the bus, and he was one of many kids that came up with these little gingerbread houses, and it was just on a paper plate, just wide open, sitting on a paper plate. And I told him right there, I said, you cannot bring that on the bus unless you have some way of sealing it up. And there are teachers that are standing there by the buses when we're checking these kids in anyways. And this so this child ended up, I didn't pay attention because at the time I had that bus run had about 60 some kids on that bus, so I had a lot of kids that I was dealing with. So he did get off the bus for a moment and then did something with it. I don't know what he did with it. But you'll understand why I'm referring to that in just a moment. And he got back on the bus. I assumed that he had given it to one of the teachers and they took it inside. Well, we went on. I took the kid home. Everything, you know, the rest of the day seemed to go okay, no problems. And you know, I go on the holiday break. You know, December is the one time a year when I actually get a couple of weeks off. So I was on vacation for a couple of weeks. So I get back in January. I'm driving this route. Just returned back to school, and this parent meets me at the bus stop. And I didn't recognize him. It was a father. And the father comes up to me and says, and because I had just assumed he was picking up a kindergarten child, because that's one of the rules. If you're in kindergarten, you have to be picked up by a parent, or you have to get off with an older sibling in my district. So this gentleman comes up, and he's all the kids get off the bus. And I'm like, okay, so he's not here to pick up a child. Well, then I noticed this one little boy standing next to him, and the father looks at me and says, "Why'd you run over my son's gingerbread house?" Now, mind you, it's been 2.5, 3 weeks since this happened. So I don't even remember right off what he's talking about. And I said, "Run over your son's gingerbread house? What are you talking about?" He said, "My son says you made him get off the bus and put the gingerbread house in front of your bus so you could run over it." Really? He thinks I'm that vindictive that I'm going to tell a 4th grader, a 3rd grader, take your gingerbread house off the bus, put it in front of the bus so I can run over the gingerbread house. I can't even comprehend the logic or lack thereof of such a stupid statement. So, after I finally put together, what he was talking about, though, I did kind of chuckle to myself, and he was kind of getting angry about it, and so I said, "Look, sir, I got other kids I have to drop off. I need you to just call my supervisor," which he never did. But it was just another one of those really humorous stories that I thought you guys might appreciate hearing. This happened several years back now, but it's funny what I can't even comprehend if the child told him that he would believe the child and saying, "Yes, this bus driver made me put my gingerbread house in front of a school bus so he could run over it." What would be my motivation for doing something so idiotic? So anyway, that's just again another little funny story. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope wherever you guys are watching this, I hope you enjoy these silly little stories. I hope you enjoy the ride that I'm certainly enjoying. The weather out here is beautiful right now. Lots of clouds in the sky, but none that look like rain, so that's always great. Anyway, it's been fun talking to you guys this time. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Talk to you then.